This is Michael Neri with your December 2023. Can't believe it's already the end of the year market update. As you can tell, I'm wearing my finest holiday sweater. With me today is my trusted mortgage broker, Karlo Agustin from CrossCountry Mortgage. And I do have some questions for him. Last week, we had some interesting news coming out of the Fed regarding interest rates. It's getting a ton of media attention. But I want to go straight to the source, to a trusted expert, and I want to get his take on that news and what to expect in the year ahead. So, Karlo, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, no, so very exciting news starting to come down the pipe. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, over the last 2 years, the Federal Reserve has gone and increased interest rates a total of about 11 times. So we've seen interest rates go from post-COVID, that 2% range, all the way up to a high of 8%. And it's taken a long while to get there, but they've raised rates with the goal of controlling inflation, right? And so here we are at the end of 2023. The data is starting to support the narrative that inflation is coming under control. And so with that in mind, the Fed's mission will shift to avoiding a prolonged recession. And what that means for us in the mortgage and real estate world is that in order to avoid a recession, we need lower interest rates. So 2024, depending on the news outlet, you can expect anywhere between 6 to 3 rate cuts in the new year. No one can predict the future, so no one knows exactly the timing of those rate cuts. But I think the idea here is that as rates come down, it's going to attract a lot more buyers into the market. We're going to start to see this buyer's market start to transition this into something more of a seller's market, where prices are going to start to creep up. So we're advising everyone, Michael, you can tell all your clients this, but the idea is to avoid the rush. We want to get ahead of the crowd and get your pre-approvals done in Q1 so that we can start shopping in earnest before the droves of buyers start to come in and start to react to more affordable financing, right? You want to get into that house while rates are still on their way down, to capitalize on some of that equity, get into the home before you start to see a lot of competing offers in the marketplace, and you start to capitalize on that equity. And then, as always, very, very soon, the mortgage market will start to transition into refinances. And whatever your rate is when you buy the house, chances are, if it's early enough in 2024, we'll be able to refinance you at no cost or very little cost at all. So that's the messaging. Okay. So
one of the things that I've also been talking about with buyers and knowing that these potential rate cuts are happening is that, don't expect to go from 7-8% back down to 3 like we were at in 2021 2022. Karlo, where do you think rates will land? I mean, if they do multiple rate cuts throughout the year, where do you think they're going to land, given that they saw what happened when rates were at 3 or even under 3%, and they're trying to avoid that moving forward?
Right. The thing to understand about those, 3% interest rates is there was a reason why rates were so low, right? We were at that point trying to stimulate the economy, and everyone's afraid that the market was going to crash because of everything related to COVID and shutdowns and such. Well, none of that exists as a threat to the U.S. economy going forward. And so in reality, you shouldn't expect 2s and 3s on the interest rates. Nothing is ever going back to that, at least in the near future. I think economists would agree that a healthy economy is run with an interest rate in the 5s. So, it's probably going to take some time to get there. It's not going to happen in a straight line. It may take several months, maybe several years in order to get back to 5%. No one is going to be able to tell you exactly how or when that's going to happen. Okay, so, but it will happen gradually. I think by the end of Q3 or Q1 into the start of Q2 into the summer months, we're going to start to see kind of the probability of rate hikes start to increase around that time frame. Oh, sorry, I said rate hikes. I mean rate cuts. Rates are coming down in in Q1 and in Q2. So again, that's hardly, you know, a solid prediction. It's a educated guess at best. So you know, don't take it for granted, right? We're at a place right now, and you know, rates are still relatively high. Demand is relatively low because of it, and you know, we want to talk to you, and we want to put a plan together so that, you know, when you are ready to buy that house, you're not having to wait for interest rates to fall in order to qualify. There's something out there for you right now. We want to help you understand that so that you can buy a house sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, I come from a financial services background, and so my mantra, if you're a buyer of mine that I've been working with for however long, you know that I always remind you, know your numbers, know your potential interest rate, monthly payments are going to be with your HOAs, if there are any, taxes, insurance, know your numbers ahead of time, because when that home comes on, if rates do start to drop little by little, expect more sellers to be willing and able to put their homes on the market, but competition to increase. So you need to know your numbers going into that. But yeah, I think, you know, we're almost at Christmas time. I know there's people are going to be hitting the pause button on the home search, but Karlo and I
as they should. You know, you got to take a break.
Yeah, Karlo and I are around. So if you do have any questions, I will link both of our information in the description for this video. But with that, I'm gonna say it was a great year. It was an okay year, but I am definitely looking forward to 2024. Again, any questions? My teammates, Haley and Eddie, did also do a similar video, so I will link that over here, I think on this side. But with that, I will say have a happy holidays to everyone, and should see me again in a couple weeks with another update on the market.